Once upon a time, in a quiet town, there was a mother named Amy who loved her children dearly. One day, she received a letter from the state's IVD agency, which handles child support enforcement. The letter demanded actions that Amy felt were unfair and possibly outside the agency's legal authority. Amy decided to investigate what was happening. She learned that IVD agencies are only allowed to do what the law explicitly permits. If they act beyond their legal powers, what lawyers call ultra vires, their actions are null and void, meaning they are legally invalid. For example, if the agency sends a letter or makes demands not based on a law passed by the legislature, those actions have no legal effect. Aware of her rights, Amy knew she needed to understand what to do if the agency crossed the line. She discovered that no statutory authority. If the agency's actions are backed by law, they are invalid. Parents should ask for clear legal authority behind any action. No lawful letters. Letters or notices from the agency are not laws themselves. They must be based on authorized statutes to be valid. No excessive authority. Agencies can only do what they are empowered to do. Overstepping that power makes their actions void. No consent can make illegal acts valid, even if a parent agrees to an agency's order. If that order is outside legal authority, the agreement doesn't make it valid. So, what should parents like Amy do? First, they should stay informed about their rights and the scope of the agency's authority. If they suspect that an agency is acting ultra vires, doing things outside their legal powers, they should consult with a legal expert who can help defend their rights. During disputes or violations, parents can formally challenge the agency's actions, citing the ultra vires doctrine to have unlawful acts declared void. In Amy's case, she worked with her attorney to document everything and formally raise the issue with the agencies involved. With proper guidance, she was able to have certain unnecessary or unlawful demands dismissed, ensuring her rights and her children's were protected. The key message for parents: always know that agencies act within the limits of their legal authority. When they overstep, you have the right, and sometimes the obligation, to challenge their actions using legal principles like ultra vires. Stay informed, seek legal assistance when needed, and stand up for your rights to ensure that actions taken against you are legally sound. In this case of Chevron, the court carefully examined the agency's actions to determine whether they adhered to the limits set by law. The court referenced the foundational principle established in Chevron USA, Inker v. Natural Resources Defense Council, which emphasizes that agencies should interpret statutes within the scope of their delegated authority, but are not empowered to assume powers beyond what Congress has granted. This underscores the importance of agency authority and its boundaries. Furthermore, the court considered the doctrine from Stiltner v. United States and United States v. Rostenkowski, which reinforce that agencies must operate within their statutory limits. Any action found beyond those boundaries is considered ultra vires and is subject to invalidation. The court also invoked the guiding principles of the Administrative Procedure Act, APA, specifically citing that agency actions must not be arbitrary or capricious and that agencies must act within their legal authority. Under the APA, actions taken outside the scope of statutory authority are null and void. Based on these precedents and the authority of the APA, the court concluded that the agency in question had exceeded its lawful powers, and thus its actions could not be upheld. How these precedents apply: agency overreach is subject to judicial review. Courts will examine whether an agency's action was authorized by law. Ultra vires acts are invalid under federal law, reinforcing that agencies cannot act beyond their statutory grants. Due process and legality are foundational principles, ensuring agencies stay within their lawful power. What parents and individuals should do: if they believe an agency has acted beyond its authority, they can raise the ultra vires issue in court. Legal counsel can assist in challenging unlawful agency actions based on these precedents, ensuring that the agency's actions are within lawful bounds. Summary: Federal case law upholds the principle that agencies must operate within their statutory limits. When they don't, their actions can be nullified, providing a legal framework grounded in Supreme Court precedent to protect individuals' rights against unlawful administrative overreach.